Soft piano music plays, grainy footage of Hackman accepting his Oscar in 1972 fades into present-day photos of a quiet New Mexico home. He was the face of power, grit, and raw talent. Gene Hackman wasn't just a Hollywood legend, he was Hollywood. But while the world celebrated his legacy, he was quietly fading away. Then, a chilling discovery. A lifeless home, two bodies, one loyal dog. This is the tragic, untold story of Gene Hackman's final days and the devastating mysteries surrounding the death of his beloved wife, Betsy. You're watching SpectraShowcase, and this is the heartbreaking truth no one was prepared to hear. SpectraShowcase presents Gene Hackman, the silent exit of a legend. Montage of Hackman's greatest film moments, The French Connection, Superman, Hoosiers, Unforgiven fading into stills of rural Santa Fe, the quiet exit from fame. In 2004, Gene Hackman did something nearly unheard of for a two-time Oscar winner. He stepped away from Hollywood. No press conference, no farewell film, just gone. Friends say Gene found peace in painting, biking, and spending quiet mornings with Betsy. They lived under the radar, no scandals, no attention-seeking, just devotion. But beneath the surface, a storm was gathering. A sudden and shocking discovery on February 26, 2025. The world of entertainment came to a halt. Gene Hackman, now 95, and his wife Betsy, just 65, were found dead inside their home. It wasn't paparazzi or police who discovered them. It was their trusted handyman. After days of unanswered calls and mail piling up, he entered the house, and what he found was chilling. Betsy was in the bathroom, deceased, her body partially mummified, indicating she had died several days earlier. Tills scattered across the counter hinted at confusion, perhaps even desperation. Gene's body was found near the entrance, his cane and sunglasses close by. And in the corner of the room Xena, their 13-year-old Australian Kelpie, had passed as well. 3 lives gone without a sound. The timeline of tragedy, investigators believe Betsy passed first, likely around February 19th. The official cause, hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. Hantavirus is a rare but aggressive disease carried by rodents. It begins like the flu, then turns deadly within days. Experts say Betsy might have believed she had a cold or fatigue. She may never have known she was dying. With Gene already in a fragile state, battling Alzheimer's and heart disease, he was unable to get help. No calls were made, no messages left. His world, already hazy from dementia, collapsed fully when she died. For nearly a week, Gene remained alone, disoriented, starving, and unable to care for himself or Xena. He passed shortly after, likely from a combination of heartbreak, starvation, and pre-existing conditions. Gene and Betsy, a love story hidden from Hollywood. Their relationship was never tabloid fodder, and that's how they wanted it. Gene met Betsy in the 1980s, when she was managing a fitness center he frequented. The chemistry was instant. Though 30 years his junior, Betsy brought calm to Gene's fire. They married in 1991, and never looked back. She helped him write novels in his retirement, stood by him through health scares, and never left his side as Alzheimer's crept in. Friends described their love as unshakable. In his final years, Gene often confused reality with memory, but he always remembered Betsy. That's the tragedy. When she was gone, he likely understood, even if only for moments, that the woman he loved most had left this world. Inside the House of Silence, the Hackman Santa Fe home was modest, filled with books, old movie posters, and photographs of sunsets. It was a retreat, but also a fortress. They didn't host parties. They didn't keep up Hollywood connections. Only a few trusted friends knew the full extent of Gene's decline. Betsy shouldered it alone, refusing help, refusing pity. Neighbors reported that they had not seen either of them for weeks. It wasn't unusual, the couple kept to themselves. But now, in hindsight, it was a cry no one heard. The most haunting detail, a plate of food left out for Xena, untouched. Betsy may have prepared it before collapsing. a small gesture of care in her final moments. The friends who remain. Doug Lamb, a family friend and photographer, had known Gene and Betsy for years. He called Betsy fiercely private, yet deeply loyal. Doug shared. She wouldn't ask for help, even when she needed it. She didn't want to burden anyone. Tom Allen, a retired screenwriter and longtime friend, visited their home just a month ago. He said Gene looked tired, but happy. Betsy was upbeat. There was no sign of what was coming. They didn't want to be remembered for being weak, Tom said. They wanted to go out with dignity, and I think they did. But it still breaks my heart, the medical reality. Doctors later confirmed that Betsy died from hantavirus, which causes fluid to flood the lungs. There is no known cure, and early symptoms mimic the flu: muscle aches, fever, fatigue. By the time she likely realized it wasn't the flu, it was too late. Gene, at 95, had survived multiple heart surgeries and memory loss, but what truly broke him was the loss of Betsy. With her gone, he was functionally helpless. Experts say, likely Gene passed within 2 to 3 days of her death, without food, without medication, and in psychological shock. Zena, who'd stayed by both of their sides, eventually succumbed too. The medical examiner called it a slow, tragic chain reaction, one that could have been prevented, had anyone known. A legacy of silence and strength. Gene Hackman lived a life of thunder, but chose to die in silence. And perhaps that was his final lesson to us, that you don't need to chase attention to matter, you don't need to be seen to be remembered. He was a warrior on screen, and a quiet protector in life. Betsy, too, showed immense courage. She didn't leave his side, even as she faded herself. Their deaths, while tragic, underscore something powerful. Even legends are human, vulnerable, fragile, mortal. We often celebrate celebrity for the glamour, but this story reminds us that true love, quiet strength, and facing death with dignity are just as heroic. The story of Gene and Betsy Hackman isn't just a Hollywood ending. It's a reminder to check in on those who go silent, to offer help before it's too late, and to cherish the people who stand beside us in the quiet hours. Share this video, leave a comment if this story moved you, honor their memory. Share this video, leave a comment with your favorite Gene Hackman performance. And most of all, subscribe for more true stories from behind the silver screen. This has been SpectraShowcase. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep the spotlight on what truly matters. Fade to black. A tribute card appears, in memory of Gene and Betsy Hackman, forever together.